Hello, my lovely people. So, why is it that heartbreak, trauma, and abuse keep you stagnant, or how? These are things that maybe you ignore, but they are very crucial in your life or in your life journey, especially when you go through a heartbreak. You can agree with me, ladies. There is an heartbreak that you go through that you'll want maybe to just go away and not be seen anymore. This is something that affects you very deeply. And if you are out of an heartbreak, just recently, or have been out of an heartbreak, I want to just give you some simple steps you can take to come out of it. And if it's so intense, maybe you can seek professional help, but I know that with God nothing is impossible. First of all, you have to accept that the relationship has ended. Second of all, it's not your fault. Just forgive yourself and let go, you know. Don't try to go back or anything. Another thing is that forgive the one that you had a relationship with and let go. Don't harbor bitterness or grudges or blames. I think there is no need for that. The second thing you should do, I think you should intensify your relationship with God. Maybe you had a relationship with God before, but maybe it was just casual, but I want you to get deeply into a relationship with God. That's one of the most important things that will open doors for your healing and break through and move you to the next level. And if you're coming out of a trauma, and that is, trauma means that maybe you have been in a narcissistic relationship, or maybe you were sexually abused when you were young, and you've gone through chains and cycles of abuse in relationships, at job or at work. So maybe this accumulates and you've never really gotten time, or you've never really focused on it. But this thing, if you don't deal with it, it affects areas of your life, and sometimes maybe you're not aware of it. So one of the things that you should do when coming out of trauma is also to forgive yourself and have a relationship with God. But there are verses that I will write on the description box for you to meditate on and pray with, so that they can help you more in coming out of trauma. Some of the simple things is like walking in nature, forgiving, talking to people, and if you have to go for a professional help, please go. But I urge you seriously to keep or to have an intimacy with God. There is a relationship with God, praying and everything, but it's more profitable if you have an intimacy with our God. And then there is the abuse. Yeah, if you are coming from an abusive relationship, abusive setup, abusive narcissistic family, I forgot to speak about that. If you know you've grown up with these people for the longest time, and one of the things that has been thrown under the carpet, or has been not spoken of because people are afraid, or people don't want to say, oh, my mother, my father, or my uncle did this to me. No, that's totally not wrong. If something is wrong, if something has been done to you by a relative, I think it's right if you speak it out. That's the best way to start your healing. We will no longer put things under the carpet. And in most of African setups, because I'm an African, I don't know about other kind of maybe tribes and cultural setups, is that most of the families, not all, most or some, not all, you are not supposed to speak about some things, because you have to keep the way people see you, you know, you have to keep the way people see your family has to be kept like that. If you're still like family that goes to church, if you're still like a respectable family, if your parents maybe have are head of something, they are respected in the society, so you are not supposed to speak about it because it will tarnish the name of the family. I absolutely not agree with that. The thing is that everything that has been done behind the scenes, in the secret or in the dark within the family, must be spoken about. And most of the time in this setup of family, when you start speaking about it, or when you start, they usually shut you up, because I've elaborated and I've spoken so much about the narcissistic family unit. There are things that are being done secretly and behind the scenes. They use a lot of witchcraft, they cover it with religion, they cover it with going to church and everything. And if you are seen like somebody wants to speak up, you're seen like rebellious, and they may cast spells on you so that you can shut up, or they may make your life miserable through witchcraft. That is being done in African setups. Many people are not talking about it because they are afraid, and also maybe they have also been threatened. There are so many girls, there are so many men that are being abused by uncles, by their own fathers, and people are not talking about it. That is totally wrong. One of the things that you should do if you're in this setup and you've gone through all this traumatic journey is that you should first keep boundaries and move out of that family. It is not easy, but you have to do it, because most of you that have gone through this kind of torture and abuse, you are chosen ones. You are chosen by God. There is a big assignment that God has given you that you should do, and most of you are generational curse breakers. That is why all the other members of the family